Schools are densely populated places where H1N1 virus can easily spread. We have to consider the fact that physical contact is a natural thing amongst kids in many different ways, and this will allow for easy spread of the virus. We also have to consider the different surfaces that we find in schools that allow for the virus to spread. Remember that these surfaces are capable of having the virus be alive for many hours thereafterwards, continuing to cause infection. The surfaces that are high traffic include door handles, pens and pencils, kids love to put them in their mouths, desks, keyboards, the cafeteria environment, lunchrooms, and bathrooms.
Schools are a particularly challenging environment for preventing the spread of influenza. There are a lot of kids, they're in a small space, and they have a lot of contact with each other. The most important thing, then, is to try and keep kids apart, and what that means for parents is that if your kid has a fever, he should stay home. And if you believe that your child has H1N1, then the child should certainly stay home for the entire duration of their fever. When the fever goes down, you can stop giving them the fever-lowering drugs like Tylenol or Advil, and if it stays down for another day, then they can go back to school. That might take 5 days or even 8 in some cases. If the school calls you and says that your child has a fever, you should really make every effort to pick them up as soon as possible so that they don't spend more time than necessary inside the school. Hand hygiene is important for preventing transmission of H1N1 in the school, and this is a particularly challenging environment. Kids are not the greatest when it comes to hand hygiene. We do prefer that if they can, they wash hands with soap and water after they cough or sneeze, but we all know that it's hard to get kids to do that, and it's hard to get them to do it for the 15 seconds that we want them to do it. So hand sanitizer in this case is often a good alternative. They should remember to cover their mouth and nose using tissues when they cough or sneeze, and if they don't have any tissues available, then they should use the elbow method, cough or sneeze into their sleeve if they have to. It may give you a little more laundry, but it's better than coughing into their friends' faces. Teach them not to touch their mouth or their nose or their eyes in general, but especially after they've come in contact with a possibly contaminated surface in the school or been touching one of their friends. Ideally, if somebody does cough or sneeze, you can tell them about the rule of staying about 2 arms lengths away from other people to try and keep the droplets from reaching their mouth or nose. Hopefully the school will provide tissues and sanitizers and garbage cans wherever they're needed, but it may be a good idea to pack a little bottle of sanitizer in with their lunchbox so that they have it, they can use it before they're eating, so before they're putting their hands near their mouth, and they can always have it if they think they might have touched a possibly contaminated surface. If they go to the cafeteria in the school, teach them not to handle any plates or food or cutlery and then putting it back where other people can then touch it.
In summary, here are the key points we'd like you to keep in mind with respect to H1N1. 1. Practice good hygiene. This means hand washing and cleaning and wiping high hand traffic surfaces. 2. Maintain 2 arms length distance from people who are coughing and sneezing or if you believe that they are sick. 3. Seek and follow medical attention. 4. Stay calm. And finally, keep informed by checking back to this website for updates.